Hello, this is John Dumke again with the BLC Group, the company that's helping businesses cut their expenses and increase their income by using our services. On this video, I'm going to talk about bad check collection. Isn't it amazing? People can stand there and give you all the information you need and give you a check after you did all of your work and then the check doesn't clear. Sometimes it's just a simple mistake, sometimes it's purposeful. Well, I want you to know that we want to get your money collected for you and still save the client. You see, by using our system, you do not have to make those embarrassing phone calls. In fact, the client doesn't know that you know the check went bad. They know it went bad, but they'll still darken your door once they've completed covering that check. And this is part of your services by being a member of the BLC group. This is our check collection program. You all already are signed up, and if you aren't, I have the form at the bottom of this presentation. But if you're already signed up as a BLC group member, you know the cost is less than the cost of a cup of coffee or a Coke a day. And this service costs you nothing. Here's what we have available. We have three basic systems. The first one is Gold. This is where your checks are guaranteed. It's like taking a credit card. Once it's approved, that's the end of it. You know there is a cost involved here. It is less than the cost of a credit card, and there is a piece of equipment that's necessary. Some people say, I don't think I want to pay all of that, but I would like to have a little idea as to whether this check is good. We call that verification. With verification, we're going to check and see if they have any other bad checks out into the system. Yes, the same piece of equipment is required and there is a cost involved. About 98% of the people who sign up with us use the free service. Under the free service, you take the checks as you always have in the past. If they go bad against our checking account, not yours. We notify you by email, and then we try to collect it before it's charged to your account. Well, what do you receive when you sign up for the free service? First thing is, of course, no cost to you. We get paid by charging the client the state allowed fee. And then you receive 100% of the check collected. Collection rates run anywhere from 85 to 95% on active accounts. There's no special equipment. There's no long-term contract to sign up. Very simple. I'll show you how to sign up here, and there's no limit to the number of checks or the size of the checks. There's 24-hour reporting. You can find out anytime what's happening on your checks. If you do decide that you would like to have either verification or guaranteed checks, then the checks are checked, if you will, through the National Check Network, and it's wholly owned electronic clearinghouse. And today it's one of the premier check payment services in the nation. We offer one of the largest databases of check information and are nationally recognized as a leader in providing wholesale check management services to our members. What's really happening is we're going out into the database and finding out if there's any bad checks out on that person. If they are, we're going to notify you. We're going to tell you, as you see on this report, a sample of the decline in receipt. Two unpaid checks, they amount to so many dollars. Here's an 800 number. So you can say to the client, gee, I'm sorry, my machine won't take your check right now. It's probably an error. Just call this number and get it cleared up. In the meantime, I need a different method of payment. Let them solve the problem, not you. I had a client one time who said, well, I think I'd like the guarantee program. And I said, well, let's do an analysis. And we'd been doing business for about a year. And so we took a look at it. What was his annual volume? If he had used credit cards at an average cost of 2.5%, he would have had a annual cost of about $14,400. By using us, even with the cost of verification, including that there were 24 uncollected checks, it still amounted to less than 0.0045%. Big savings. He stayed right where he was and didn't move into a guaranteed program, and he kept taking checks. So what does it take to get started? Well, if you're not now a member of the BLC group, we need to have you fill out that form. And then there's just two other forms. The basic information on you and making sure that we get the money into your account when we collect on a check. The only cost to you is you do need to acquire a new endorsement stamp. It's at a cost of $27. But what that does is make sure that any bad checks are charged against our account, so your bank's not going to be charging the $5 to $15 fee. You only have a $2 fee because that's all the Federal Reserve will allow on an electronic check that goes out. And then we want to make sure that your bank knows it's called a letter of authorization. Don't send any checks through a second time, but rather send them to us. That's all there's to it. So fill out the forms, fax or email them in to us, and let's get you started collecting those for us to collect those bad checks for you. Have a great day. Do something nice for somebody else. It'll make your heart happy.